Thea's had the first part of the story. I'm going to rant on the second part of the story.
Face. Update, I'm going to try to keep this short. There isn't any good news. I tried calling my husband for another day before I finally gave up and called his friends to see who he was staying with. Finally, one told me he was staying with his mother. I know we're all shocked. It's entirely shocking information. I called mother-in-law's landline and luckily he answered. I told him we had to talk face to face, otherwise I'll just go through with a divorce. He comes by, confesses he was staying with his mom and didn't tell me because he knew I'd be mad. After some pushing, he admitted to making a copy of his key and giving his mom one. He confessed to wanting kids. I asked about why his dating profile way back when said child free, why he put up a united front of no children with me for years only to suddenly change his mind. He said it was because he saw how lonely his mom is and agrees now that we need kids to liven up holidays, to give her something to do, etc. As in his sole reason for having kids were for his mother, not his own, not a change of heart just because his mom wanted grandbabies. More red flags here. He insisted, though, that he didn't realize his mom would go this far, which I believe because if they were plotting, then he would have told her that I was no longer on birth control and tampering with it would do nothing. He would have also told her not to break in because of the cameras. I packed his shit in the trash bag and kicked him out. Told him to go back to mommy and that my divorce lawyer will be in contact soon. At that point, I hadn't changed the locks. I wasn't sure of the legality of it and didn't want to do something that would potentially hurt my chances in court. Besides, I didn't think mother-in-law would show up again because she had her baby boy. Turns out I was wrong. She showed up later knocking and I pretended to not be home as my car was in the garage and she couldn't see it. She knocked for 15 minutes and I debated calling the police, but before I could, she entered the property with her key. I was furious and not going to lie. It gave me a flashback to my attack and I had a panic attack. I was inconsolable and crying. I ended up locking myself in the bathroom. She called me a soul crusher, heartless, and a shitty wife, along with some other colorful insults before finally leaving. It took 5 hours to calm down. After that, I called my brother. He's staying with me now, he's changed the locks, and he's helped me contact a lawyer and start the divorce. My husband has been doing damage control and got to all friends and family before I could and spun a bullshit lie that I was trying to isolate him from his mother, that I'm making false police reports, etc. It sucks to say a majority believe him because he was their friends before me, but I was able to talk to a few and tell them my side of the story. And that's where I am. About to be divorced, honestly scared and upset, and I'm now doing 2 therapy sessions a week to try to work on all the progress that had been lost when soon-to-be ex-mother-in-law broke in again.
It's my turn now. And for the record, I ain't promised I was gonna stop cussing. I mean, I did earlier this year, but I broke that like a long time ago. So you punk ass mama boy little bitch. You have sended past mama boy. I can't think of a word or a phrase to even come up with for the ascension of it, but I think you make all mama boys look bad. You literally changed your mind about wanting a child, which you have every right to have. Right or wrong in the decision, people have the right to change their mind. But the reason you changed your mind, not because you had a change of heart, not because, I was always thinking about it and now it's just too strong of a thing and I want to have a child. Fucker, you want a child for, I don't know, a live baby doll for your damn mama? To liven up the holidays? Dude. I'm going to take a step off of what Thea said. Fuck you. Fuck your mama. I'm going to the damn police. We already getting a damn divorce. Fuck all of y'all. And the funny thing about it is, you know you wrong. You knew you was in the wrong because you try to do damage control, telling everybody a bold-faced ass lie about Oh my God. Isolating from my mama. What the fuck? How old are you? Who can isolate you from your mama all of a sudden? All of a sudden now. Because it ain't happened at the beginning. Usually people who isolate people from their family and friends and everything, they usually start real damn early in the relationship. It don't happen all of a sudden. And you don't use that statement twice. Twice. You're isolating me from my mama. You're taking away my mama from me. Why you don't like my mama? Because your mama break into the house and forcefully try to get OP pregnant. Want to tell me what's the good news on that part? I'll give you a second. I'll give you a second to think about it. Where's the good news on that part? Fuck you. Fuck your mama. The friends who wasn't paying attention, just getting one side and was going along with them, fuck them too. Because the only person who was going to be utterly affected by this was the OP. You wasn't going to be affected by it. You ain't give a fuck because you was doing it for your mama. Your mama would have been affected from it because she would have had her own live little baby doll to play with because she bored, I guess, or whatever. Whatever the damn reason was for her to come up with this bullshit. You literally held conversations about this. And Theus is right. Everybody should have a key to somebody's house because shit happens. But you know what else happens? You share it with your partner who's in that house too. You also know what else do? You also say, this is for emergencies. Don't pop your happy ass up over my house for no damn reason. My mother and my daughter has a key to my house. My daughter, who stayed in this house before, still don't just pop up and show up. She still calls. And she stayed here before. My mama, who raised me by herself, if we was doing the whole entitlement thing, raised me as a single mom, damn near all her whole life, still don't pop up over my house without calling. But your little psychopathic mama feel like, one, just gonna pop up. Two, I'm just gonna destroy your life. Three, I'm gonna destroy your life because I want something and you're not gonna give it to me. Four, I probably never told my son that I was gonna do this, but well, he don't know, won't hurt him. So if I haven't made it perfectly clear because the divorce is going on, and by the way, the funny thing about it is, I can speak for myself honestly, and for a slight moment, I could probably speak for Theus just a little bit because I think I know Theus well enough. Roll up on my damn house again and yell at me and see what the fuck happened to you. Now that's me and Theus. OP wasn't in that state of mind. She's still working through some things. But what you ain't gonna fucking do is yell at me on some bullshit. You just not. Because I guarantee you, I don't know where the police is gonna find that key. But it ain't gonna be in your hand, it ain't gonna be in the pocket.
That's Marlon talking. That's Marlon talking.
Okay, that's me talking.
That's me
talking.
That ain't me.
But when you decide that you're gonna roll up in my house and talk shit with a key that I didn't even know you had,
so it's gonna be a problem.
There's gonna be a huge problem because you think I'm your damn son and I'm scared of your little funky ass. I ain't. I'm not that person. I'm not that person. So, in case I wasn't perfectly clear, let me iterate it one more last time before we go to break. Fuck you, husband. Fuck you, mama. And for the friends who just took one side of listening to the conversation without getting the second side to see if it was true, fuck you too. We clear?
You cursing a lot of people out when you only got one side of the story. I agree with your assessment for the most part.
I got you, but I'm going by
but
my side.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you listen to one side of some people going through a divorce, it's always some wild shit.
No,
I caught him raping a frog. What?
My all-time favorite was, you know, this bull. You know, it's BS in some of these stories when they start off with "all I said was," and I just look at it and go, "Yeah, you the a-hole," because you had all I called her was a B, and she got all upset. You what? You wrote this down and thought this was gonna who?
Yeah, but anyway, with the situation at the here, because you know you had the benefit of knowing that it was gonna be one of them fucked up extended stories. But anyway, everything I said, I still stand by. And then with the second part of the story, you know, it's hard for me to say what I would do because I don't know how I would function as a woman who already has those triggers. You know what I'm saying?
No,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I was speaking for myself. I honestly expected that from her. That was a trigger. Somebody break into your house, yelling and screaming.
You go hide.
Yeah,
that's
you're
what you
go
do.
Hide. Yeah. You're gonna go hide because look, we're dealing with so many different traumas. 3. I know we heard, you know, it went by quickly. We heard 3 different traumas: violence, robbery, and breaking and entering. So breaking and entering, violence, and robbery. 3 different traumatic things. Separated will give somebody PTSD. But all 3 happened.
Yeah. I still don't like all them damn cameras. Because here's the thing, man. Like, you know, I'm hit on the camera thing. It's kind of like people who go out and get a gun because they're scared of the world. Look, here's the thing, man, folks. And then I got cameras and I got a gun. At least one. Anyway, camera ain't gonna keep you safe. All camera gonna do is help somebody else see what the hell happened to you. That's all a camera can do for you. It ain't saving you from shit. Okay, so you got all these cameras set up because of your trauma. Got that, but you want somebody else to live underneath that. And even if they agree to live underneath that level of surveillance, I was being silly, but let's just be real. You are he's trying to function under your trauma. It's your trauma. And he loves you. So he's trying to function under that. That can start to weigh on a person already. If you've ever tried to love somebody who was kind of going through it, you know, it gets heavy, folks. It gets heavy. So I don't know about that little piece of it, right? It doesn't seem like a very good overall situation. Then the thing with the mom and the key, right? The second time, I mean, the first time was already jacked up, but the second time, she's home alone. This is the second time in person that someone violated her castle, right? With her in it. Okay? That is beyond triggering. Okay? You definitely gonna set this woman back big time.
Yeah.
And you yelling at her and doing all this stuff. Yeah, you really messed this woman up. Good luck trying to press charges, though. because she used the key that was given to her by your husband, and you are not presently going through a divorce yet. So, good luck, right?
I don't know about the.
It'll be a great story at the divorce. It'll help with the divorce, right?
Yeah.
You definitely can run his pockets. But as far as calling the police saying breaking and entering, the police will come and they will escort her off the property. And you can try to press charges. I'm just saying they're probably gonna go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Which is a jacked up situation.
I literally know it's not going to go anywhere. Like I can tell you right now, it's not going to go anywhere because whether she knew it or not, you got to remember they were married.
Right, they weren't even going through the divorce yet.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, exactly. Nobody was talking about divorce when the key was given. Only one person.
They were talking about it, but they wasn't. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean with the couple. The couple.
No, I'm saying they had been talking. They were talking about because remember she said, "We need to talk face to face, or I'll go ahead and start with a divorce." And then he came over and tried to talk. I meant
beforehand.
Oh, okay.
They never
the first
about
time.
who should get a key. Yeah. So beforehand, they never talked about who could get a key. But remember, only one part of that couple needs to know that somebody else has a key. That's your husband. And your husband knew that the mother had a key. So,
yeah. And then, like they said, Mama's Boy, I'm not sure I would call this really a case of Mama's Boy. I'm saying that this is more of a case of he's just really a bad person. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just a bad person. Because, like, because this is coming from her story. She's telling the story. She's the one telling the story. So anything that she says, I gotta take it with a little bit of skepticism, just because you always telling the story from a slanted point of view. But he says was because it'll help liven up the holiday. That's a coward move because the reality is what he was just doing was blame my mama, not me. That's what he just did. When the reality is you wanted children, but you thought you would be okay not having children. And then you realize I'm not really okay with not having children. And then your mom's in your ear talking about how it'd be nice to have grandchildren. So now that's feeding into your head and she's hyping you up like the little evil minion that she is. And then you start feeling like, well, I should be able to have kids. She's keeping me from having kids, right? All right. So she's gassing him up for all of that. That still doesn't make him a mama's boy. It just means he's being manipulated by his mother. Slightly different thing. Where it gets twisted, though, is he never seemed to have condoned what they were doing, what mama did, right? At least as far as we know, right? Because then it would be a criminal act anyway. But
she did say
no matter
you don't think he knew. She did not
think
he knew anything about the plan.
Right. Because if he did, that's a whole nother level. We just amped this up a whole nother level. But what mom was doing, in my opinion, and I know this is not a legal distinction, in my opinion, what the mom was trying to do was effectively rape this woman. Yeah. Because she was depriving her of her bodily autonomy. You know what I'm saying? So that, to me, sits on that level of rape. So, but good luck trying to sue any of these things. Really, she just needs to get away from this family, get the divorce, get a restraining order on both of them. And I don't know how she gets through the next phase because, man.
And this literally popped in my head. And let me emphasis by saying I don't condone it. Absolutely, positively, beyond a shadow of a doubt what the mama did. Okay? What I'm finna say is not giving her out or whatever she did. What the mama did was wrong. Is always going to be wrong. The obligatory F you mama thing comes into effect. But I kind of want to know now, what did the son tell the mama? Like, what exactly did you say to your mom? And the only reason I even asked that question is because you went out and told your friends a bold-faced lie. According to the OP.
Well, that part I don't give any value whatsoever to what she said about him running around telling their friends nothing. I don't give no value to that because in every single divorce, both parties try their best to shift the friend circle. Happens every single time. So I give that no weight. But that part about the mom though, I'd be willing to bet he said something along the lines of that she's not even willing to hear my side of it. She's not even willing to entertain how this makes me feel. She's gone so far as she makes us use birth control. And I bet that that's where he was. That's
Okay.
how he was. Like mom was gassing him up and he was gassing mom up. Like that toxic stew, right? Where they just bouncing off each other. But I think that's where I would think that part came, right? And then mom is like, oh, I know if you mess up the birth controls, they won't work no more. Not birth control smell like refried rice and because you know you ain't clean that microwave.
The mother entered the house without him knowing is bad. Ruining the birth control was an entirely new level, and he was okay with his wife getting pregnant against her will. Again,
no, that part he wasn't. That we know.
I don't think he knew what the plan was.
But he might have.
But that could have been willful ignorance. Like, here's the key. Don't tell me Jack. You know, it's one of those, the less you know, the better. So it could have been.
Mama, take care of it, baby.
Yeah.
I'll take care.